The immortal hero of ancient Greece, Heracles, embarks on a legendary journey to seek redemption and forgiveness for a crime he committed. On this arduous path, his fate is bound to 12 monumental tasks, each filled with perilous creatures and nearly impossible challenges that test his superhuman strength and courage to their very limits. When Heracles arrives in the valley of Nemea, he encounters the terrifying Nemean lion hidden deep within the forest. This creature shines with a golden fur as bright as the sun, but its hide is so thick that no arrow or sword can penetrate it. Heracles attempts to shoot the lion with arrows, but realizing they are useless, he draws upon his inner strength. Deciding to confront the lion with his bare hands, he engages in a relentless battle in the heart of the forest. Finally, using all his power, he strangles the lion and emerges victorious. With his hard-won prize, Heracles fashions the lion's impenetrable hide into armor and proudly returns home. As he makes his way back, villagers gather around him in admiration, relieved that the threat has been defeated and in awe of their hero's accomplishment. They gaze upon Heracles with respect and wonder, celebrating his bravery. Upon reaching the shores of Lake Lerna, Heracles confronts the terrifying Hydra. This many-headed creature poisons the air with its toxic breath, rendering the ground barren with each step. Heracles strikes, severing one of its heads, only to see 2 new heads emerge from the wound. Realizing the futility of this approach, he devises a cunning plan. His companion, Iolaus, uses fire to cauterize each wound immediately after a head is severed, preventing new heads from forming. After a relentless battle, Heracles and Iolaus destroy all of Hydra's heads. Finally, Heracles collects the Hydra's deadly venom, which he later uses to coat his arrows, making them deadly. Victorious once again, Heracles completes his second labor. Heracles sets out to capture the sacred Cyrenaean hind, a mythical deer with golden antlers and bronze hooves that roams deep within the forest. Its beauty is unmatched, and it moves with incredible speed and agility. Heracles follows its trail for days, but each time he draws close, the deer gracefully evades him. After a month of relentless pursuit, Heracles finally distracts the deer, managing to trap it carefully without causing harm. By capturing the deer unharmed, he honors Artemis and respects her sacred animal. Upon completing the task, Heracles earns the goddess's favor, releases the deer back into the wild, and returns with a sense of peace, having fulfilled the labor with reverence. Heracles ascends the peaks of the Erymanth Mountains, tracking the massive Erymanthian boar. This powerful creature can uproot trees with its tusks and roams the mountain slopes with a fearsome rage. Heracles devises a patient plan to capture the boar. He will drive it into the snow-covered heights during the winter, exhausting it as it struggles through the icy terrain. After a fierce chase, Heracles finally corners the boar on a snowy peak where it loses strength in the deep snow. Taking advantage of the boar's exhaustion, Heracles binds it successfully. Victorious, he brings the captured boar back, ensuring it will no longer harm the villagers. When Heracles arrives at King Augeas' stables, he is met with a monumental chaos. These massive stables, untouched for 50 years, are filled to the brim with the waste of thousands of animals, emitting an unbearable stench. As he contemplates how to complete the task in a single day, a brilliant idea comes to him. He will divert the flow of 2 nearby rivers to wash through the stables. Using his strength, Heracles changes the course of the rivers, directing their powerful currents to rush through the stables, clearing out all the accumulated filth. Though initially hesitant, King Augeas acknowledges the feat, and Heracles completes his 5th labor, showcasing his cleverness and might. Upon reaching the shores of Lake Stymphalia, Heracles encounters swarms of deadly birds with metallic feathers that gleam under the dim light. These birds are so fierce that their sharp feathers can be used as weapons. Realizing he must scare them into the open to defeat them, Heracles devises a plan. Using a set of bronze castanets given to him by the goddess Athena, Heracles creates a loud, piercing noise that startles the birds into flight. As they panic and take to the skies, Heracles skillfully shoots them down with his arrows, one by one. With the Stymphalian birds defeated, the villagers around the lake can finally live in peace, and Heracles successfully completes his 6th labor. Upon arriving on the island of Crete, Heracles encounters the massive, untamed Cretan bull, known for its immense strength and ferocity. This wild bull has been ravaging the villagers' crops, spreading fear throughout the land. With sharp horns and a powerful build, the bull poses a formidable challenge. Yet, Heracles approaches with patience and skill. He carefully tracks the bull and waits for the right moment. When the bull charges, Heracles confronts it head-on, using all his strength to grab it by the horns. Successfully subduing the beast, Heracles captures it alive and completes his task. This victory once again proves his strength and determination. Arriving in Thrace, Heracles finds the dark stables, where King Diomedes' man-eating mares are held. These deadly creatures inspire fear in all who approach. Heracles knows he must find a way to subdue these dangerous animals. After overpowering King Diomedes, Heracles distracts the mares and gradually calms them down. Using his strength and skill, he controls them within their own stable and successfully tames them. Returning with the subdued mares, Heracles completes his 8th labor, showcasing his courage and resourcefulness once more. Upon reaching the land of the Amazons, Heracles is respectfully welcomed by Queen Hippolyta. Having heard of his bravery, she considers offering him her magical belt as a gesture of goodwill. However, the goddess Hera, intent on sabotaging his task, stirs up trouble by convincing the Amazon warriors that Heracles poses a threat to their queen. The Amazon warriors, determined to protect Hippolyta, attack Heracles. Forced to defend himself, Heracles engages in a fierce battle with the Amazons. After a long and challenging fight, he successfully acquires Hippolyta's belt and departs from Amazon lands, once again proving his courage and determination in completing his task. After a long journey, Heracles finally reaches Geryon's cattle. Geryon, a colossal figure with 3 heads, each bearing a different face, stands ready, waiting for him. Defending his cattle with fierce resolve, Geryon challenges Heracles. Heracles engages in a battle with his arrows, ultimately defeating Geryon. Taking the cattle, Heracles sets off on another arduous journey. After a long and challenging trek, he safely brings the cattle to Eurystheus. Thus, Heracles successfully completes yet another difficult task, once again proving his endurance and bravery. Heracles arrives at the garden of the Hesperides and encounters the giant serpent Leadon, who guards the golden apples. Knowing he must defeat this powerful creature, he carefully prepares for the battle. After a fierce struggle, he overcomes Leadon and picks the golden apples from the tree's branches. Returning to Eurystheus after completing his task, Heracles successfully hands over the golden apples, symbols of immortality. In doing so, he triumphantly completes yet another seemingly impossible labor. Descending into the depths of the underworld, Heracles encounters Hades' three-headed dog Cerberus. To subdue this fearsome creature, he must use not only his strength but also his courage. Approaching Cerberus, he calms and controls the beast, successfully bringing it to the surface. Having completed his task, Heracles presents Cerberus to Eurystheus, forever marking his name in history for completing the 12 arduous labors. This final feat showcases his strength, courage, and unwavering respect for the gods once again. After completing his 12 legendary labors, Heracles was forever remembered as the greatest hero of the Greek people. Yet his story did not end there. Following his trials, he was honored even further in the eyes of the gods, and Zeus invited him to Mount Olympus, granting him a place among the divine. Zeus bestowed immortality upon his son, welcoming him to eternal peace in Olympus. In mythology, Heracles' immortal spirit is symbolized as a radiant constellation in the sky, a hero whose legacy continues to inspire the hearts of people. His story, passed down through generations, embodies strength, courage, and perseverance. Thus, Heracles is not only a hero, but a legendary legacy,